Wait, what? This is Shree's daily global show, the Sree COVID-19 call. It is happy birthday, Sree. Sree is having his 50th birthday today, and my name is Neil Parekh. I am the executive producer of the New York Times Read Along and VP of Digimentors, longtime friend of Shree's. Uh, Myself, Rose, and Vandana have come together to take over Shree's show and give him a birthday present. And I can't help. I have to bring him on screen because he's laughing and loving it. Sree, we are we're going to celebrate you today. Happy birthday! I want to bring on Vandana as well, and as soon as Rose joins us, we'll have Rose on as well. We went to great lengths to surprise you, and I'm thinking that we did.
You did.
I
You
think
did.
so.
Up
Yeah.
till the very last minute, Sree thought that his good friend Mitra was going to be the guest on the show. She, of course, will be joining us, but she is not the only guest that will be joining us today.
Wow. Well
so
done,
we
guys.
will see what we can do with this. Please share. Please like. Please tell your friends about it. We are going to be posting it on various social media channels. We are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. And we have people who are already joining us to say hi. Of course, Jonathan Borstein, who's always here, Dory Olds,
Hi, Jonathan.
friend Paula Kiger. I think my daughter is in the background behind me. I'm going to give her a quick, there she is, jumping. There she goes. Say happy birthday, Emily.
Happy birthday!
And
Hello.
we'll hear from Emily in a little bit later. Pradnya and Paula and Dory, all these people have come to say hi, but we want to make sure that we get the show off. So Vandana, I'm going to ask you to share the links in our appropriate groups and make sure people know about the show. And we'll bring you and Rose on a little bit later.
Yes.
And we will go from there. So Sree, I have a couple of special guests for you. And you were expecting to interview Mitra, but instead, I'd like to bring on a friend of yours, Bill Ritter.
Oh my God.
Sree, big virtual hug, my brother. Big
Oh
virtual.
my God.
How are you?
Wow, Bill. Folks, thank you. This is the great Bill Ritter, who's turning 50 in a couple of years.
Oh,
I remember when I was 50. It was 20 years ago. So you got a long way to go, my brother. You got a lot. You share your birthday with some famous things and people, right? The Statue of Liberty from 1886.
I did not know that.
Bill Gates was born on this day, and I don't know what. I think he's a little younger than I am, but not by much. And then the great Sree Sreenivasan. So that's pretty. From the Statue of Liberty to Bill Gates to Sree Sreenivasan. I mean, which one do you choose? You want to spend time with talking about the future?
Oh my God, I'm so stunned that this happening right now. Thank you so much, Bill. You really were part of this show from day one. You were so supportive, and then you came on episode number 20 something, and that day people said this must be real if Bill Ritter is going to be a guest. You had COVID in the middle of that, so talk about that for us, please.
So always with the interviewing, I had COVID, and it was a mild case. I had it. I was out of work I was in quarantine for 17 days, and I came back. I only missed one day on the air. I did stories from home, and it was bizarre. And my first day out, I went to Mount Sinai Hospital and got tested for antibodies, and I had like a gazillion of them. And so I started in late April giving plasma, and I gave 8 doses of plasma. I think we got like 32 people may have done it, may have gotten it. We found 3 of them who are still recovering, and we are going to interview them for a special on ABC and WABC TV, Eyewitness News, when they get well enough to feel like they can talk about it. So it's good. I still have some. I got tested again. I still have some antibodies left. It goes down as we're seeing in some of these studies, but I'm hoping that my antibodies last a long time because it would be nice not to be able to give it to people. I have so many masks. You know, it used to be that masks were hard to get, and I've got a gazillion of them, so I like wearing them. I got makeup on them. That's the only problem when I'm on the air.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Bill, you have makeup because you're about to go on the air, right? In just a little bit.
I did. I have to do a tease, and that's why I asked to go first. But let me just say that I appreciate what you do. I appreciate that you, like we, report and look and search for facts and the truth, no matter where it falls. And we won't say that there's no pandemic still growing in this country because we won't say that it's not happening because it is happening. And wherever it falls, wherever the truth falls, we have to accept that. And science matters. Science matters, and facts matter. And you have always lived up to that. And you were ahead of the curve in all this stuff having to do with tech, and even scans to put your phone on, and all that stuff. You lit the way for us neophytes. And whatever I know about this stuff, I feel confident that I can do it okay on this computer stuff because of you, Sree, because of you. And without you, I don't know what I would have been. I'd be a lost old baby boomer asking the youngers to type something for me.
You're amazing, Bill, and I'm so honored. I know that you have to go. Thank you so much. Everyone should know that what among the many things I learned from Bill will be something that surprises folks. When you visit his house, he makes you take off your shoes. And this is long before coronavirus. Now everybody knows you take off your shoes before you go into your own home, let alone other people's home. But he made me do that. And I'd never seen a white person do that before. And he said, you have no idea what's on the streets of Manhattan. And so that became a rule. We had the confidence, even though we were Indian, we had the confidence to do it. If Bill Ritter can make his family do that, then maybe we can do that as well. But one of many things I learned, including what it's like to go from a print guy to become a small TV guy like I did. Bill supported me every step of the way back at Channel 7. I
did the same thing. I was a newspaper reporter for 15 years.
Exactly. That's what I did. And I was so excited when I learned that about you and everything that you've shown the way for so many of us. And thank you for everything. I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you, Sree. And your pal Neil did all this, by the way. He did it and had everything down to keeping everyone's secret. And he's the one who you ought to watch out for him because he can lie. This guy can lie.
and I can also use technology when I need to. Bill, thank you so much for joining us. And particularly when you have to do some teasers tonight, fitting us in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And Sree, love you, man. I really do. And best to your family.
Thank you.
All right. See you later. I'm going to hit the leave button now.
Yep. Bill Ritter, everyone from ABC. Sree, but that's just the beginning. We have a number of people commenting on the side. You can see some of the comments, but you can't press any of the buttons.
Yeah.
I went so far as to lock you out of the StreamYard account so that you can't see who's backstage and that you can't hit the buttons.
I know you did. Anil, thank you for being here. Anil Kalhan was a guest twice on our show talking about immigration and so much more, and also helped us set up one of our most memorable episodes where we talked about Hamilton and the law. Drexel University professor, constitutional law expert, has been a great person to follow on Twitter, @Kalhan. Please follow him. And Pradnya says, I guess you asked people how
do you meet Sree? Comment in Facebook, in Twitter, and LinkedIn. So before we go too far, I'm going to bring back on our official guest for the evening, Mitra. Mitra, thank you. Mitra, how did you meet Sree?
Oh, I met Sree. This is going to sound so bad, over AOL Messenger. When he launched Saja, there's a mutual friend, Art Pius, who tracked me down when I was the editor-in-chief of the Rutgers newspaper. So I was 21 years old. And he said there's a group called the South Asian Journalists Association run by someone named Sree who you should meet. I was in New Jersey, which, felt like a million miles away from New York City. So it took me probably about a year until I finally met Sree. But we exchanged emails because Saja at the time was run as a virtual organization, and I signed up. And I have to say, I don't usually say nice things about Sree, at least in front of him. But it changed my whole life, right? That introduction changed everything. I think it changed both of our lives because we've become friends, but more than friends, but I don't mean that in the bad way that it sounds. And I mean, like family, you know what I mean. I hope Rupa's not watching this part. So, but also, at the time, my parents were probably like the most uber liberal Indian parents, but nonetheless, they were uncertain of this career I wanted to enter. And so once I found this fraternity of South Asian journalists, like suddenly everything became possible. And Sree unlocked a whole world for me. So again, I don't usually say nice things about him because I feel like we have the type of friendship where we show each other our love, and we absolutely probably do nothing for each other, but there isn't anything I wouldn't do for the guy, right? So did that come out right? You know what I mean?
Oh, it certainly does. We love you so much. You're part of our family. I remember Arthur Pius, the late, great Arthur Pius, who passed away a few years ago, who loved connecting people, identifying talent. He would do, among other things, he would write an anonymous check to Saja so that journalism students who couldn't afford to go to the Saja dinner would be able to go, and he wouldn't want any recognition. And he introduced us to so many people like that. But he said, this Mitra is an amazing talent. You watch out for her and be connected. And we did. And then you came to Columbia, and you've had this amazing run, including going to the AP, to Newsday, to Columbia Journalism School. You went to India. You went to you helped launch the Wall Street Journal's Greater New York section, and became managing editor of the LA Times. And then you went to CNN, and where you were responsible for almost everything that was not television, all the digital stuff. And then in a stunning piece of news for most folks, about 2 weeks ago, you made an announcement. So maybe you'll tell us about that.
I'll tell you about that in a few weeks. Today is about you, Sree. Even when it's your birthday, it's so hard for you to let the focus be on you. So,
you need to understand, Sree, that we went to great lengths to deceive you. Mitra is not talking about her new venture yet. She does not have permission from her current employer.
It's like if this one NPR people are watching, I swear this is a birthday, like part of my personal life. I know there's a week to go till election day. I swear I'm working really hard. No, the other thing I should say is that you were my professor once I got to Columbia, which I think you just alluded to. And I will share one piece of advice, which is anytime I've been distraught, you've always said to me, you got to report your way out of it. And I don't know if you remember that, but like whether I was covering something and I didn't quite know what to do, or if I'm in the newsroom and I'm trying to navigate a situation, you would always tell me to report my way out of it. And I think that is a lesson that I'll share with your birthday viewers.
Well, we should talk about, do your reporting, find out the pros and cons, all sides of the story. It sort of reminds me of Hamilton. He wrote his way out of his troubles, including, he willed, as they say in the musical, what he did. He wrote his way out of the storms and everything else. I saw Emily was here for a minute. She was
You want to say hi, Emily?
Mitra, so then now I hope this means you're promising you will come on our show.
Yeah.
We're ready to talk and
Yes.
talk about that. Neil,
We will have you on, Mitra.
I thought that this was really going to be a show with Mitra, so I queued up a whole bunch of photographs and sent it to the producers and said, let's show that of us partying in Austin, Texas. We had your very unusual office at the LA Times where you had Hindi movie posters like you have.
I have one behind me now, yeah.
In the LA Times, that was like, what a shock to the LA Times system to have a editor like that.
I'm going to interject. First of all, Emily was here. I think she just wants to say happy birthday real quick. Can you say happy birthday?
Happy birthday.
Okay.
And she can't hear you because I'm always using my headphones, but we will hear from her a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
But in the interest of time, Mitra, I know that you have a time crunch as well.
I got a little one to get to also, but Sree, I love you. I'll be watching, and Well, I don't know. I'll say nice things about you in a few weeks too. Don't you worry.
Thank you so much, and thanks for everything. And good luck with your election night. Anything you can tell us about election night?
Well, I think the most important thing is that it might not be a night, right? It's an election season. So I feel like that's what people should watch with an eye towards. If you think it's going to be like a sporting event, then I would set yourself up for different expectations.
Thank you. Very well said.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mitra.
Bye, guys.
So we're gonna move a little quicker with some of our next guest, Sree, because it's already 9:18, and we've got a lot planned for you today. I want to bring in Rose and Vandana real quick, the producers of your show. I jumped in today just to help out, but this is Rose and Vandana have been working with you since March. 232 shows, which is pretty incredible. And I wanted to just thank them for all the great work that they're doing. And they are not just helping with planning the show, but also still tweeting and spreading the word on Facebook, on WhatsApp, etc.
I'm
Rose,
so
Vandana?
grateful to both of them. They had no idea what they signed up for 232 days ago. Every single day, the kind of discipline it takes to do this. They work so hard with never, once saying, what the heck are we doing? I've learned so much because of them, because of the guests they've brought, the energy they've brought, just making, I'm the face of this thing, but they are really the heart and soul, and I'm so grateful.
Sree, the same goes for you. Like Sunny said earlier on Facebook, only Sree would try to be the host of his own surprise party. Happy birthday, Sree.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm glad we were able to pull off this birthday coup.
You did.
Right, coup.
I have a question for you, Sree. Did you plan start this show on March 13th so that you could celebrate your 50th on air like this?
No.
It only took 232 days to get here.
Yeah, it only took us all this time. I really, along the way, people have seen me be really upset with the system, and to say that what we thought would be a few weeks, maybe a few months, has turned into 230 days. That's 7+ months of this pain in this country. And I feel like we have had, the three of us, sometimes with Neil and other people in our Digimentors team, had a chance to actually have a chance to share the voices and share this platform and help people understand. So many people have written in beautiful comments that the show is a lifeline. The show has been helpful to them, but it's been helpful to me to have something to do every single day for 230 days. And the worst 230 days, I'm so grateful to my family, to Rupa, to Durga and Krishna, my twins. I can't imagine, apart from getting the virus, anything worse would be to be 17 and turning under lockdown, turning 17 with your parents in a Manhattan apartment, because they've been so wonderful with me, letting me do this, supporting me as I do this. And to all of you who've watched through all of it, I'm so touched and very, very pleased and happy and appreciative. So thank you.
Very happy birthday from Brendan and I, and we wish you another 50 that will be joyous and less chaotic than this one. But
and thank you, Neil, as well, for
of course.
Without you, this would not have been possible.
Absolutely, it was my pleasure. For folks, just to remind you, in case you're joining us midway through the show, this is Sree's daily global show, Sree COVID-19 call. But Rose, Vandana, and I have taken it over to serve as guest hosts and producers to celebrate Sree's birthday. It's his 50th birthday. I can see him shaking his head below, but anything we can do to embarrass him is great. But I do want to. This is what we do with our shows. We always remind people where we're at, what we're doing, and you can tweet using Sree50 and Sree COVID-19 call about the daily program. Usually we discuss various aspects of the pandemic, as well as the upcoming U.S. elections. Today, we're celebrating Sree. And with that, I want to move on. Sree, we have a number of guests that are getting ready to celebrate you and to show you, to wish happy birthday. Some of them are with us in person, and because I pulled a few strings, you have no idea who's backstage, and it's almost like this is your life. Before we go backstage, however, we also have a few videos that have been submitted to wish you happy birthday. So the first one I want to bring up is from a good friend of yours. I believe you know them well. So let's see if we can pull up a quick video for you. And I'm going to just put this on the screen and hope this gets the audio. You might recognize these folks.
Hi, happy birthday, Sree. We're here at Shenandoah National Park at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, we had to come all the way to the top of the mountain to record a birthday message for you, but no mountain is too high for friendship.
Yeah. Not even Table Mountain. Oh, by the way, I had no idea we were doing this.
We had a great time doing all these trips with you guys from Kenya and South Africa and Puerto Rico, and we look forward to the end of COVID so that we can do more of these trips.
Happy birthday, Uncle Sree. I caught a bunch of salamanders, and my mom took pictures of them, and we're gonna send them to you so you can enjoy this park as much as we can.
Yep. Oh, and they love sharing the same birthday with you, so happy birthday!
Bye!
A meta moment with Andrew commenting down below while showing his video. Sree, just how do you know Andrew? When did you first meet him?
I met Andrew in the fall of 1995 when he came to Columbia Journalism School to teach us something called new media. Andrew had a digital website on a commercial website on the internet in 1994. If you can imagine, I mean, it's, for most of you can't even imagine that far back. And those of you who were there can't imagine that someone had a business in 94. And Andrew is really my partner, friend, BFF, and the person who taught me that everybody needs a digital mentor in their lives. And he was my digital mentor, my Digi-mentor. And that's why the company we founded is called Digi-Mentors.
Absolutely. So we have another video I'd like to share with the folks. So we'll bring Renee Edelman up.
Hi, Sree. I'm so happy to wish you happy 50th birthday, and to celebrate this momentous occasion with you. Thank you for your generosity of spirit and all you do for your friends and family and the news business and New Yorkers and the South Asian community and journalists all over the world. Thank you for helping me sustain myself through COVID. Wishing you the most wonderful birthday and many happy returns, good health, lots of joy, and many rewards. Love and big hugs, Renee.
And that was Renee Edelman, of course.
I want to say to everyone, Renee Edelman is a dear friend, hearing an echo for some reason, but not my fault. Of the setup. I would say that Renee and I both went to Columbia Journalism School a few years apart, and she's been a wonderful and dear friend of mine, of our family. She loves our children. She's watched them grow, and she sent me the most amazing balloon gift and birthday gift today, and this message is even more special. She, Rose, Vandana all got together, and I've got to tell you, Neil, I was resigned to having a very quiet birthday with Rupa and the kids and my dog, and didn't expect any of this, and I'm just so moved. Well, thank you.
If you didn't expect any of that, I'm gonna hope that you don't expect what's coming next. We do have several other videos we're going to show. There's so many comments of people coming in, but I would like to bring on another guest onto the show. I think someone who you've known for a number of years, probably one of your oldest and dearest friends and acquaintances, at least that I know, and someone that
who you're calling old. I'm okay with that, but I don't know.
I didn't mean to call Ambassador Srinivasan old. Ambassador, you're muted. Please unmute on the phone. Sorry, on your iPhone, so we can hear you on StreamYard. There you go. And this is just press the unmute button, sir. There, you'll get it.
Almost, Acha. Almost. This is like anyone with their parents trying to hit that unmute button.
It's you have to hit the unmute on StreamYard.
You're right there. You're almost there, Acha. Hi, Acha Nama. Love you very much. I know you'll get to it. It's right there. Do you see it? Almost. Neil, Neil, you're muted now.
I'm muted because I'm on the phone with him actually right now. We've been working on this for a while. Ambassador, why don't you try and find the unmute button, and I'll pull you back on screen when you unmute. Okay.
Bye.
But not to fear, because we do have other guests for you, Sree. I'm going to go to, let's go a little north of town, of where we are. Lori White, friend of ours from Providence.
Hey, happy birthday. So great to see you, and so pleased to be on this show with you today and to be able to wish you happy birthday from all of your friends here in Rhode Island. And you have 1 million of them at the Greater Providence Chamber of Commerce, at the University of Rhode Island, and the Tarakani lecture series that you and I are working on. So we just are in such awe, Sree, of you and your team, and Rose and Vandana and Neil. And I'm just thrilled to be part of the family that you have gathered. And just think that you are such a hero, such an advocate for journalism and journalists and all the things in this world that are so important, truth and trust. And your leadership is just amazing. So we all love you here in Rhode Island, and we send our very best to you and your family on this very, very happy day.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lori. It's great to see you. And I'm so glad we reconnected during the pandemic. I know that you and Jim and I got to meet your wonderful husband, late husband, who fought for journalists and journalism and the right to be able to do investigative work and fought for the rights of journalists everywhere. We first met many years ago at a conference, and then we connected again during the pandemic, and we've gotten to work. It's been an honor for us and for me, Neil, Vandana, and Rose to work on the Tarakani lectures, named after the great Jim Tarakani, that the program that you've put together at the University of Rhode Island at the Harrington School of Media and Communications. And we got to do interviews with Nick Kristof and Cheryl Wu Dunn, and then with the
Ambassador, can you
and also with Christian Amanpour. And then we have something great coming up exactly a week after the U.S. election day. So if you want to tell us about that, please.
Well, I want to talk about you and the fact that, the stars sort of aligned. And my husband passed away a year ago. He was an award-winning investigative reporter, but he learned his social media skills from you many, many, many years ago when we went to Columbia to take part in something that you were presenting back, early days. But since his passing and I started this lecture series, there was only one person that I knew that could lead this in a way that would be able to gather a global audience and help to really elucidate the comments and the importance of the First Amendment. So I'm so proud and just so thrilled that you are a part of it, and Neil and Vandana and Rose and all of our friends at URI. And you've done so much to advance this issue, particularly now during this really important time. So your integrity is amazing. And I just feel like the stars were aligned to bring you back into our world. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Well, but since we are here, I will want to talk about what we're doing. on Tuesday, November
10th. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What's going on November 10th, Sree?
We're going to be doing an incredible
Tarakani
lecture where we're going to have multiple guests who are going to talk about the importance of the First Amendment, including Dan Barry is going to be with us, who was someone who wrote about Jim's efforts on behalf of the importance of protecting your sources and the First Amendment, and had the honor he did of serving as a pallbearer at Jim's funeral. And then we'll have various journalists who will talk about the First Amendment. And, you know, we're talking a week after the election, 10 days from now. Who knows where we'll be with the elections, where we'll be with the media, with rights in this country. And I think they're more important than they've ever been. So it's a special honor for us to work on the Tarakani lectures with Laurie White Tarakani.
Thank you, Sree.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. And I'm sure that you will guide us extremely well. So again, happy birthday.
Laurie, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. So we were able to work out your parents' mute button, and it's your mom as well, not just your dad, Sree.
Is it okay? Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Very good, very good. Well, you want to know where we met him?
Yes, sir. That's what I was trying to say. You can hear me, right? You can hear me?
I met him.
I was saying one of his oldest friends.
Yeah. I said, be careful. They can call you old, but not to call other people old. My old man and my young mother. Look at my mother. Look how young she looks. Even my dad. Look how young they look. My dad was a dad at 24, I think, and my mom even younger than that. And we're just. It's been an amazing ride. 50 years. I used to tell my dad that I thought 30 was old. So when I remember him turning 40. And I thought that he was really old when he was 40, and now I'm 50, which is stunning to me.
Because we always think that the father is very old and he doesn't know anything, he has forgotten everything, you know, that kind of feeling I had about my father. How will I ever improve, I used to think. But he knew much more than I did, and that I realized only later.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Anyway, but having a 50-year-old son is a great thing. Great blessing. Can you imagine?
In Tokyo, when the nurse said, Toko, you're so happy. You are the baby boy.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any of those photographs, but you were happy to have a boy, but you really wanted a girl. In all my childhood pictures, I am dressed as a girl with the bindi and the beauty spot, as you call it.
She wanted a dance partner.
Yeah, I wanted
not the Western dance partner. She wanted a girl.
Sree, you're wondering whether we have any pictures, right? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we can do here, because we have pictures.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Give me a moment to bring it up.
My mom has a picture right there. Look at that.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
That's I love that picture.
Yeah. Hold it to the side a little bit. Hold it. Yeah, there you go. Look at my mom. Look at that beautiful lady and her beautiful daughter.
Yeah, even this.
That's the most photographed photograph of our home.
Yeah.
And
everybody wants to take a photo.
7 a.m. How are things with COVID in Trivandrum?
Yes, better than the United States. That's all that we can say.
So sad.
Watching CNN, we are horrified.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Sree,
my God.
We have pictures.
This is that connection.
Yeah, you do.
This is that connection.
And I think that one's a good one to start with.
Yeah, look at that. They really wanted a girl. They really wanted a girl.
This is my favorite of you and your mom. Couple of older pictures of Sree. You were speechless at one point, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. And these are my cousins. And this is a photo slideshow that Rupa put together for a surprise birthday greeting the other day. These are my wonderful cousins in LA and their nephew, and my wedding and my brother's wedding. And that was the end of the show. Look at that.
I did edit the show a little bit, Sree, to protect the innocent.
Good, thank you.
But wanted to give a little bit of that flavor. Like Auntie, I would be remiss. I know my mom is a big fan. She watches all of Shree's shows and always says hi when you say hi early in the morning. So Sudha Parekh wanted to make sure that she had a chance to say hi. And of course, as I tell everybody, I knew Ambassador Srinivasan before I met Sree. My dad, of course, my dad, Prakash Parekh, sent me to his wedding reception in D.C. because he couldn't come down, and said, my son's friend is getting married. Just please stop by and bring good wishes from the family. And I went through the receiving line and said hi.
Are you able to get through? There was such a crowd, many people.
I waited almost as long as we have to wait to vote. You have to wait to say hi to Sree and Rupa.
Well, we should just point out to the white people listening and horrified by this, it is not unusual for you to have people at your wedding you don't know. The wedding is more for the parents to invite their friends. More than for the couple. So that's what happened. And so Neil wasn't gate crashing. He was invited as a representative of his father and mother. And that's how we met. We met on the line. And he said, "You don't know me, but I'm here on behalf of my father." And I knew.
But you met the entire diplomatic corps in Washington, and Rupa was looking astonished.
And I wanted to take this chance to say about Neil's father, who was a very important part of the South Asian community here for many years, along with Sudha, his wife, and Neil's mom. They did so much to give life to the community here, to give it the foundations that have helped it thrive now in the U.S. By the way, a stunning headline in foreignpolicy.com today about how Indian Americans in Texas are going to play a role in helping decide the fate of that election. Just tells you how much things have changed since the days that Sudha and Neil's father and everybody were involved in everything that happened. Prakash Parekh is Neil's father's name. He passed away about a decade ago, just this month. And my parents, I think, know this, that part of the reason Neil has been involved with me in doing the New York Times read-along is because his father instilled in him a love of the New York Times and just news and newspapers in general. His father went on to become publisher of News India Times. I still remember when we arrived in New York in February of 1980, one of the first things my father did was subscribe to the New York Times. And I still remember the thud of the paper landing, because in India, papers also land, but they're not as thick as they are, and certainly were back in the day. On Saturday and Sunday, the big edition would land with a thud on the front door. And now Neil and I are celebrating 5 years of the New York Times read-along this month. We've had some amazing guests. And I will also say a story that I share because Neil has shared it. His father, when he passed away, asked to be cremated with the Sunday New York Times print edition in his in the casket. And so I'm so tired. I get goosebumps even as I say that now, and say to you, Neil, that your dad, I know, is smiling as he thinks about us doing that every single day because of the love he instilled in you in the news, the way my parents did in me with the news as well.
Yes, we learned selective reading at that time, because I used to wonder, how do I go through all these newspapers, all these pages? But now you know how to read a New York Times. So. And then Sunday, of course, we have the blessing of hearing you. But the best thing about COVID is that we see our son live every morning when we get up. We don't care what he's talking about to whom, etc. But to see him.
I sign up first thing in the morning.
Which is great.
She's searching for her phone as soon as she wakes up. It's all over the place. But first thing then she starts off. So this has been a great blessing. So
I will
the COVID
say
doesn't continue, but hope your shows will continue so that we can see you every morning. That's a great thing.
Ambassador
and the family.
And like Auntie, I will say that, and I think you know this, that Sree is always talking about how he wishes he could go back to India to spend time with you and to be with you. Yes. And it pains him dearly that he can't do that. So I'm hoping, thank you so much for joining us in person.
No, thank you.
Both of you on camera.
Yes, we have been dreaming about it.
Yeah, I would just say, Neil, what you're saying is so important, that one of the things what makes me so mad about what has happened in this country, we have failed as a country to contain the virus, to take care of Americans, and as an extension, have therefore shown the failure of America in so many ways, its economy, its economic situation, and everything else. But personally, the two things that upset me most is that my twins are stuck at home when you're 17, you should have that final year of high school should have been a different experience that they're having now. And that I would have seen my parents twice at least. I would have gone to India. I was hoping would have come out to my 50th.
Yes, we were getting ready for the 50th anniversary.
And we're not able to do that. And that pains me so much. And I lay the blame for that at the feet of this administration and this.
No politics, please. No politics.
No politics.
It's all politics, sir. It's all politics. Especially with the elections coming up, we should remind people to vote. Make sure that you vote early. Drop your ballot off. Don't leave it in the mail. More than anything, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. Ambassador Lekanti.
As I wrote yesterday, poetic justice will prevail. That's the only.
Hopefully. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Hopefully you can stay and continue to watch.
Yes, we will watch.
That was the hardest thing to do, Sree, to cut that off, certainly, as you know. But we do have several other videos that I want to show from people who couldn't join us this evening. One of these is from your friend Juntai.
Hey, Sree, happy birthday. This is your 50th. I don't know what they call the 50th birthday. I know they call the 30th 30-30. So I guess this would be nifty 50. Happy nifty 50 birthday, Sree. I hope you are enjoying it. Much health and wealth to you in the upcoming year. Talk soon.
Thank you, folks. That's Juntai Delane. He's an amazing social and digital media expert. His agency, Digital Delane, and his website and the branding institute, that digital branding institute that he created, is amazing. I learned so much from him every day. I'm honored to have him as part of our set of friends and supporters. So thank you so much, Juntai, and thank you everybody for bringing Juntai on board for that too.
Moving along, there are a few other videos I want to show. So the next is Emily. She actually did record a video earlier. You might recognize
happy hello, hello, hello. She likes making fun of
you. Could hear that. That's the opening of your show, Sree.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy birthday, Sree. I made a nice poster for you. It says happy birthday, Sree. The Sree is in capital letters and there's a lot of stars and a cake sticker. And now I'm going to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And now, okay, I liked that vacation to Fire Island, even though I have no idea why it's called Fire Island. Does it have fires there? Probably not. Bye-bye. Na-na-na.
Thank you so much. That's our friend Emily, who has the distinction of being the youngest person to be a regular guest on a featured guest on our show. She was here to talk about what it's like to be a 7-year-old during the pandemic. And I remember one of the things thinking about when she was on a guest, it was probably 4 months ago, thinking, are we rounding some kind of corner the way we're now being told we're rounding the corner? We're at the highest number of cases, and I feel so sad for young people like her and their childhood. We hope it's just this 1 year, but I'm so worried for all of them.
Absolutely. And I will say, when she heard that I was organizing this for you, she very much wanted to be a part of it, making that poster, recording a video. You might recognize Flipgrid. I set up my own account and learned how to use it just for you, Sree. Again, we're all going to great lengths to make this a special day.
Thank you. You did. You also went to great lengths to hide all of this, so I appreciate
it. Hid all of it. We did a separate card for you that you couldn't see. What I'd like to do now is bring in another guest who's here in person, who you don't know who's backstage, which is great. Someone who means the world to both of us, Sunny Slaughter.
Hey.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, so I'm older than you.
Uh-oh.
And you have to listen. Only you could not let this be about you, because that's who you are and you are so amazing. Do you know how much we love you? You are loved around the world. When Neil sent me this invitation, I was like, yeah. And then I got pressed to the line. My hair wasn't done. I still have no makeup on. But I just want you to know that, Sree, you are one of the most amazing people that I have ever met in my entire life. You and Neil are my brothers, and what you have done during this pandemic, as we roll out of this, I know there has got to be some award that they will give to you and Neil and the team. But you are the face, the voice, and the leader of a movement that's so passionate, so purposeful. You are, I used to call myself the master connector, but as a birthday present, I am going to dub you the global master connector. And on your 50th birthday, know how much I love you, how much you mean to me in my spirit. You have transcended the voices of diversity and inclusion in a way that no one else could ever do. You have taken Black Lives Matter and made it not just a movement, but a message in a moment where we needed a voice and a platform. And you allowed me and so many others to speak, to give us air, to give us breath, to give the movement life in a way that no one else could. I'm trying to keep. You don't know what you have done for so many of us. And Neil, oh my God, when Darlene introduced me to you, and then the show, and then Sree, and all of the people in this wonderful family that we now have. You know, I was kind of alone here until all of you. So from me and my family, wishing you the blessings beyond blessings beyond blessings on your 50th birthday. Welcome to the club. Know that you are loved and celebrated. You are a masterful wizard of communication and voice. You have liberated us all.
Oh my God, Sunny.
We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your words, for the platform, for the opportunity, for your very presence in all of our lives. I am humbled to be just on the margins of the circle of your greatness. You have only just begun. And for all of us to be connected to you is beyond a blessing. Neil, you know I love you dearly. I cannot wait to see what we do next. I cannot wait to see what you do next. Sree, you will do and have done so much. You know, this is only the beginning.
Sunny, you are an amazing person. Robert Anthony, our friend Bob, says it right back at you, Sunny. You have helped so many of us. People should know this, that
don't you talk about me.
No, I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about you because people should know that when it was a Monday evening, you came on the air and you were so upset. We didn't know why you were upset. You were live on the air on your own platform. We didn't know what was going on. I was in the middle of something else and I said, Sunny's really upset. We need to find out why. You had just heard about George Floyd and what had happened to him. And you were saying so much wisdom through your pain. You were sharing that. And we then we're blessed to have you on our show. It was our 80th episode of this series. It's now 230, so 150 plus days ago. You came on the air and you shared with us the pain so that everyone could understand why we all need to pay attention to what's happening. And you saw that not just the awfulness of what happened with George, but the ramifications of that and how this country had an awakening in so many parts of it. Unfortunately, we had a counter awakening of the worst of this country also came out as the best of this country came out. And we've had at least one candidate for president who has been saying the worst possible things and using the best of America are rising up and speaking. My twins, one of my children just walked out. They took me to a protest when I was scared of the virus, and they said, no, we have to go. We have to be there. And I kept thinking about you in that episode. If anyone goes to my YouTube screen where all the episodes are, the featured episode is that one, number 80. We called it A Horrific Week in America. And then that Sunday, this lady, Sunny Slaughter, came on our show with our friend Joe Stiglitz, Nobel laureate in economics, and he listened to you and listened to you talk about one of the things that I will never forget. You said, instead of calling your black friends and saying, what can you do now? You ask yourself, what have you been doing all these years? Why did it take the killing, not the death of George Floyd, the killing of George Floyd for you to do something and to ask these questions? It's been so special to be with you and to have you in our lives. And we're so grateful to you, Sunny, and for coming here tonight and sharing this with us. Here's what Therese says. I will never forget the show with Sunny, which I shared with all my friends and colleagues. So powerful. It's featured on my YouTube. It's episode number 80. Please watch that. Go back and watch the New York Times read-along with Joe Stiglitz and with Sunny Slaughter, both of them talking about race together, a moment that I hadn't planned. Neil didn't expect that they would talk about the 50th anniversary of the Kerner Commission. It turns out Joe Stiglitz was on that commission. And he was talking about how badly the Kerner Commission had failed and how they had failed 50 years later. And here we are today.
But your episodes will live beyond infamy. My granddaughter will be able to watch them. And I was talking to her and told her, Ma, I said, I got to get off. But my granddaughter and all of our children will be able to go back and look. And I just really just want to say happy birthday. I'm so grateful. You know, Neil, if he thinks I'm in trouble, and if you say, Neil will be like, oh, hell, I'm I'm calling. When I got sick not too long ago, Neil he said, I got the message, but I got the message from Paula, but I'm calling. So I'm getting better. I love you guys. Neil, this is you are a master too. So, hey, we got masters here. I mean, you guys
Sunny,
are amazing.
I'm not going to let you go. He's pointing out the comment. Sunny is truly a great leader in our community. Sree, you as well. But I'm not going to leave you I'm not going to leave you without A. There is no force equal to a woman. What's the rest of that?
Oh,
determined
to rise.
And rise, you have winning an award from the Black Caucus of the American Public Health Association just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Sunny, all congratulations to you. All best wishes. You know how important you are in our lives. And this is the worst thing that I have to do is to cut you off and move on. This is the worst part of the show, but 9:58 and we're only halfway there. Sunny, thank you very much.
Guys, enjoy your birthday. Love to the family. Cut me off.
The hardest thing in the world, Sree. Let's go to a couple of videos. Our friend Timo from World Teacher Day, this 24-hour show that we did, right?
In Brussels.
For Education International from Brussels.
Sree, happy birthday. Many happy returns of the day. Hope that one day when all this virus business is over, we can actually celebrate in person and not only virtually, but all the best and see you soon.
Wow, so beautiful. Thank you so much. It's one of the amazing parts of the pandemic is that Neil and the rest of the DigiMentors team have been able to do amazing projects, including a 24-hour live stream with Education International celebrating World Teachers Day.
Happy birthday!
And we have another video we want to show you, Sree.
Thank you for all the comments. I'm not having a chance to read them because I'm not in charge today. But great to see Girish.
As we tell our guests, please go back into Facebook afterward and respond to people. They would certainly appreciate it. This video is a little closer to home, I believe. All right, Sree?
Down the hall.
Down the hall.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Sree. Thank you for being on our floor.
Best neighbors.
One thing great about Sree is his big heart. For example, he's given all his birthday balloons to our
show
little
the kids. They love it.
To our little babies.
They're having the best time.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday!
I love that. I love it. Thank you so much.
You gotta love when kids get into the act, right?
Those were the balloons that Renee and Rose and Vandana and Merv sent over, and I said those we have kids on our floor who need them more than me. We got a great photo, and then we passed them on to them. So thank you for bringing them on.
One more video before we go back to live guests. Our friend Ron Thomas from Dubai.
Good morning, 8:43 in Dubai. Happy birthday, Sree. We met at your social media weekend at Columbia University. I'm going to say back mid-2000 sometime. And you were gracious enough to invite me to that. And it was a great event. And we have kept in touch since then. I've been a guest on your show. And I am a big fan. I am amazed how you can produce so many shows back to back. But when you have the A team behind you, you're able to accomplish all things. So have a great day. Have a great birthday. And I will be listening in this afternoon specifically for the obituaries. So thank you very much. And happy birthday.
Thank you. Ron has been a wonderful friend, and he's a sponsor of our New York Times read-along. And he's talking about on this past Sunday, we had Amy Padnani on our show. She's the obits editor of the New York Times and just was an amazing guest talking about how they put the obits together. And she was the creator of the Overlooked section of the New York Times, which is an amazing series for women and people of color who were ignored by the New York Times. We learned, for example, that Ida B. Wells never got an obituary in the New York Times, but she was prominent enough that when she got married, that was covered in the New York Times, but not her passing. So we learned a lot. Please go back. You can find that also on our YouTube channel, SreeNet. You can find this week's New York Times read-along there. And here is Sunny saying that only I would try to be hosting. Yes, I am trying to do that, I admit.
And I'm mostly leaving the comments to Vandana, but I do want to put this one up from your father. What an absolute honor for him to say that. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us today. It was an absolute pleasure. Sticking with the theme of family, Sree, you have a lot of family that we could call on. But first, I'm going to show this video. Right, Deepa Menon?
Deepa, yeah, from Baltimore. Yeah, she's your sister,
who I had the pleasure of meeting as well when you came down to Baltimore a few years ago.
Hi, Kiku. Happy birthday. Wishing you a wonderful birthday and 100 more years of doing all the wonderful things you do. To my brother and my pillar of strength, happy birthday again. Have a great year. Bye-bye.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you so much, Deepa. And thank you, Neil, for asking her to be on the show.
Absolutely. The number of people who wanted to be a part of this is incredible. We have a couple people who are putting in the comments where they first met you. So Vandana, we'll let you run with the comments. Lippy Roy saying happy birthday.
She stopped by today to see me and kind enough to bring a gift. And she was the very first guest on the show, episode number 1. I needed a doctor to be on the show. And one of the things that happened, I think you know the story, Neil, is that an anesthesiologist called in. It was a call-in. It was an audio show, a conference call. And an anesthesiologist in Virginia called in and asked the doctor a question, asked Dr. Lippy Roy a question. And that's how we knew we were onto something, that this doctor, this physician in Virginia could turn to something that didn't even exist yet and ask a question. Dr. Lippy Roy, we're so proud of you. You've gone on to become a contributor at MSNBC and NBC, and I see you on the air with Joy Reid and Morning Joe and all these amazing shows, and we're very proud of what you've done, and I saw her just today. So thank you very much. Socially distant and in masks, we saw each other today.
So thank you. And then we have Shiva Ramesh wishing you a happy 50th. They heard a lot about your years in Japan. So that's great. So much gratitude. So many people wanting to.
Thank you for your kind comments.
Lambert as well.
One of our students at Columbia Journalism School. Thank you, and a loyal viewer. So thank you for that.
So let's go to another video. I'm just going to tee that up and bring David Beard onto the screen.
Hey Sree, here we go. Happy birthday. Here's a few things to remember the first 50 years of your life that we've been together with. Discovery, parties, Five Guys, walking the dog. Let's see, social media weekend, Pulitzers, Shorty Awards, Boston, New York, Dubai, San Francisco, LA. Did I say Discovery? Anyway, happy birthday, Sree. Let's see what mischief we can get in the next 50 years of your life.
Thank you. David Beard at Dub Beard was a guest on the show talking about newsletters. He's the editor of Nat Geo's newsletters. I learn from him every time I'm with David. Please follow him on Twitter. You will learn every day from his tweets. And he listed all those cities we've worked together in: LA, San Francisco, Washington, Boston, Dubai, and New York. And we did all these exotic things, but going for a walk with him in New York with our dog was as important as anything exotic we did. We even interviewed Jill Biden together. Hopefully she will be the next First Lady of the United States.
Deepti had a comment. She still has the first email that you sent her back in 1997. At the dawn of email, if I'm not mistaken.
And Linda says she met me because she needed someone to write an article about Tech for Sesame Street parents. I remember that. I was so honored to write that article. And she tried to pay me for that article, and I just didn't submit all the proper bills and things like that. But we've gone on to, we reconnected then over social media, and she was a student in one of my classes and has become not just a colleague, but the VP of Education for Digimentors. So there's an example of someone who was a colleague, a student, colleague again, and just one of my dearest friends. Thank you so much, Linda, for being part of my family.
And of course, Diana talking about how you met in the early days of Saja. Apparently, an ex-boyfriend was involved in bringing you together, but she married Saja instead. And it's been great to have Diana as part of
and she
our
was
circle of
on
friends.
this episode on a Sunday Night Positivity, because you will not meet a more positive person than Diana, even when life throws things at her, and she will always bounce back, always be positive. And please find that episode on my YouTube channel. It was so funny, but filled with wonderful moments. We surprised her, but by bringing her husband in and surprising, they hadn't really had enough time to talk to each other. So we stepped out, and then they talked to and about each other, which was great. I see Dr. Kurian here.
Dr. Kurian's here. Giri Garaja met you at a quiz at IIT Delhi, where they answered a music question before you, and you were jumping up and down, apparently.
Yeah, I was not a good quizzer. Quizzing, by the way, Neil, is huge in India in a way that will surprise Americans. You know, Americans have Jeopardy and other game shows, but quizzing at a much higher level of complexity. And Giri was one of the greats in India of our era. And I do not remember the question, but I know Giri will, because he's got an amazing brain.
Let's hear from Dr. Kurian.
Sree, happy birthday, happy 50th, and sad to say that I probably have known you for at least 40 of those 50 years, if not longer, and I just want to wish you the most happiest birthday. You have accomplished so much, you have brought so many people together, and to do incredible things, including working with me and Sujana and the whole team, and you have made so many introductions to so many different people over the years and elevated all of us, and I'm just so thrilled and happy to celebrate with you, and happy birthday once again.
Oh, thank you so much. I don't get a chance to say enough nice things about the Kurian family. Marina and I indeed have known each other for 40 plus years. Her father and mother are amazing pillars of the Indian community, and her father worked for Pan Am Airlines and was known as Pan Am Kurian, and anybody who would come lost in New York, as we were in those days when you landed at JFK, everybody knew to go see Pan Am Kurian if you needed anything, and he'd be right there. And he called me yesterday, Neil, and we had a wonderful conversation. And so it's great and an honor to talk to every day, to work with Marina, every week to work with Marina and Sujana. This is the other surgeon friend of ours who have a show, She's on Call, that we put together with Rose, Vandana, and Julia Weeks, another part of our team, every Sunday. And that show is now on WBAI twice a week, plus our show on Sunday. So thank you, everyone. Please follow at She's on Call.
And the co-host of She's on Call with Dr. Marina Kurian, Dr. Sujana Chandrasekhar.
Hi, Sree. Happy pandemic birthday. Thank you so much for teaching me about he for she and about Manels. I was able to go back and teach my ENT societies about Manels, and they were able to become he for she. And that really changed the world as we ENTs know it. Thank you for letting me find out that we can find great happiness amongst the pandemic sorrows, for finding out our strengths during this time, and for letting me teach you about PPE. Have a very, very happy birthday. Stay safe and stay healthy from Sujana, Chris, and our family.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sujana Chandrasekhar, a dear friend. You know, on social, I'll say that my friends and surgeons, Sujana and Marina, that sounds odd. It sounds like they're my surgeons, but they're my friends who happen to be surgeons. And she and her husband, Chris, and I have a whole, technology relationship, and their son, and their wonderful family, their children. And Sujana, thank you very much. And she was an early guest on this show, maybe episode number 10. And Marina was our first guest on my call-in radio show on WBAI. And she did, in fact, teach me PPE, one of those three-letter words that became so important during this crisis, along with PPP for Paycheck Protection Program, PPE, for the gear that we all, personal protection equipment that we talked about. So many things I wish we never had to learn, but we have been forced to learn because of the pandemic. And Tom says hello. Tom, folks, is at CNN, is Fareed Zakaria's executive producer and dear friend and fabulous. And thank you so much, Tom, for your leadership in our business and for being a dear friend and great supporter of all the things that we do. Really appreciate it.
From Tom to Tim.
Yes.
Our friend Tim McDonald from Florida. I turned on the captions, and I think for Sujana, it thought you were Sherry. For Tim, it thinks you're a tree. But we'll see how it goes for the rest of the captions.
Hey Sree, it's Tim McDonald. Just wishing you a very happy 50th birthday. Welcome to the club, my friend. I just want to say what a great person you are. So giving, so sharing, and always doing things for others. I'm so glad that we first connected in New York when I was there. I remember that social media one night stand. I think it was the first time ever at Columbia that I got to meet you in person. And then ever since then, you've reminded me so much about how we matter, what we do, and who we are matters. And just want to thank you so much for everything you've done for me over the years, and look forward to all you are doing and continued success and supporting you in any way I can. So enjoy a fantastic 50th birthday. Love you, my friend. Take care, Sree.
And we love you, Tim. Thank you so much. Tim McDonald, we met when he was the community manager at Huffington Post, and nobody knows how to bring together a community and serve up a community the way he does. And he has speaking.biz, which is a company that teaches people how to have their own speaking business. So please do check that out. And he's T.A. McDonald on Twitter.
And I'm going to keep working through these videos, Sree. We have several of our Digimentors colleagues still to come on video, and still one more guest backstage, at least one more guest that we want to show you. So here's Peter Knox.
So I met Sree back in 2006 when he came to Columbia to lecture to my Columbia publishing course, of which I was a student. Following the course, I followed him right away, and then I got into publishing and worked my way through for 14 years. Now I'm head of marketing at Book Highlight, and I'm honored to be able to work with him and his team on virtual launch videos. And I wish him a very happy birthday and many more birthdays to come. May they all be streamed on video for us all to enjoy. Thank you, Sree. Happy birthday. I love seeing you work and seeing you every day doing it. So congratulations and cheers.
Thank you, Peter. Peter Knox, amazing to have these connections. And this is what we learned, that it's all about, everything we do is about relationships, and life is really about that. I'm very grateful. Shristi says,
Rangaswamy here.
Sorry about that.
All right, we have someone else who I recognize the voice.
Absolutely. We have M.R. Rangaswamy, who is going to join us on video in just a moment. There we go.
M.R. Rangaswamy here, wishing you a happy birthday. If you remember, we met 20 years ago when you were 40 years old to start in diaspora, and you helped me a heck of a lot there, and I want to be thankful for that. But also what I really admired about you was that you needed no quid pro quo. But I'm going to do it anyway. There's a $2 bill coming in the mail or through Venmo or PayPal. Just keep a lookout for it. And also loved your warm hospitality when we came to visit you in Puerto Rico. Please send us another round trip ticket. We'll be there for your 60th this time. But in any case, I want to wish you and the family a great day today in celebrating your birthday. Happy birthday, many happy returns, all the best.
Amazing. M.R. Rangaswamy is an amazing man. Many of you know him from the work he's done within diaspora. We are honored that once a month we're able to do a show with just him for all of us. So please do check that out. But MR has also, through In Diaspora, done amazing things, including hosting the Indian American inaugural ball, which no one had done before. He also helped bring to life the Diwali, the Diwali stamp. Everybody knows that there's now a Diwali stamp that you can get. But MR was the person who made that happen. I have here a photo of us back in the day when we went to. I have it if Neil can pull it up. A photo of MR and me at his beautiful home in San Francisco, and it is also he was featured, as you can see in this photo when Neil brings it up, from on the Wall Street Journal front page of the Wall Street Journal. He was featured with a woodcut in the Wall Street Journal, and they talked about a new kind of investor in America that they hadn't talked about on the front page of the Wall Street Journal before, an angel investor. So when the Wall Street Journal in 1997 decided to write about angel investing on the front page, an article written by Stephanie Mehta that was written and shown by that was a article by Stephanie Mehta, who's now the editor-in-chief of Fast Company magazine. What a small world, and super delighted to see M.R. Rangaswamy with us. And Girish, great to see your comments as well. And I see Therese Steiner. Hi, Therese.
Yes, sorry, Sree, I wasn't sure where that picture was. So
it's right behind on my.
Oh, you screen shared. Oh, you didn't. You mentioned screen share. There you go. That's the picture you were talking about.
Yeah, that's me and MR, and that's MR on the front page of the Wall Street Journal in that famous woodcut about angel investors. It was so new they put angel investing in quotes in the New York Times. I mean, in the Wall Street Journal, and that's what we're seeing. But I see you brought Therese on video as well. Hi, Therese.
Hi, Sree. It's Therese. I'm wishing you a glorious, happy, wonderful 50th birthday from where I am today in Redondo Beach, California. I think we first met at one of the social media one-night stands at Columbia School of Journalism many, many moons ago. And as you know, I've been a fan ever since. You have enriched my life as you've enriched so many others. And I wish you a birthday filled with love, joy, family, friends, and continuing passion for everything just in the world. Happy birthday, Sree.
Therese Steiner is an amazing human being who was involved in many, many great causes, including Justice Aid Forum, and we've done lots of things together. And I am so honored to know her, like all of these folks. Thank you so much. I'm really overwhelmed. I can't tell you what this means to me.
So I'm going to close it out by sharing videos from our Digimentors team members. So the first one that I wanted to show you was from Julia Weeks. She works on she's on Call Show and the New York Times Read Along, and is with AP Images.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sree. Happy birthday to you. Sending you all the well wishes and positive vibes, and hope we can celebrate IRL soon. Happy birthday, Sree 50. Woo!
And those captions work out pretty well. Julia Weeks is an amazing colleague and friend. She had me talk at the AP Women's Group just last week. It was very nice to let me do that. It really meant a lot. So thank you so much to Julia and for teaching me so much about how to do social and images, especially. Thank you very much. And here's Steph.
When we're talking about images, we talk about our friend Stephen Kaplan with Spin It Social. He has his own weekly show and worked at the New York Times for a number of years, a great photographer, and just a great friend to a lot of folks. He wanted to wish you a happy birthday as well.
Wow, Sree, my man, the big 5-0 is finally here. Bon anniversaire, mon ami. You take care. We love you.
And he even busted out the French for you.
Yes. Yeah. People will be surprised at how great his French is. He went to French school. He has a great story, a true New Yorker, and a great friend.
We have Paula Kiger. There she is in full screen.
Hey Sree, happy birthday. We met when I friended you on Facebook because I had read your article about being fired from the Met, and one thing led to another, and here we are, being partners on the great adventure of the New York Times Read Along, among other things. I'm so happy you have your own big green pen now. As you know, the hashtag is Write Optimistically, and there's no one more equipped than you to share a message of optimism. Thank you again for all you've done for me personally and for your friendship. I hope it's a wonderful birthday.
And
Sree.
here's the card she sent me and the pen she sent me, big green pen, because she's an editor and a dear friend to be with us. You know, this is, as I keep saying, I'm so angry about various aspects of the coronavirus and all the death, all the pain. She mentioned losing my job at the Met. I can tell you that I know what it's like for one person to lose their job, how it affects their immediate family, how it affects people around them. Our dry cleaner got less work because I was out of work. And then to imagine 20, 30, 40 million people out of work in this country, underemployed, unemployed, so unacceptable in every single way. And thank you, Paula, for being part of our lives. And thank you for this beautiful card that you sent me. It's great, great. And Soumya says happy birthday. And Soumya, you met her and our friends are earlier as well in the video they sent us, my neighbors.
Our next set of remarks is from someone in the Witness Protection Program. Actually, it's our friend Jenny Lazarus. I'm teasing her a little bit. She did want to redo the video, Sree, with better lighting, but is dealing with some personal issues today and just was not able to do it. But I know that she wanted to wish you well for Sree 50 as well.
Hi, Sree. Wishing you a very, very happy 50th birthday. What a big milestone. Amazing, I'm sure, for you to look around and see all that you've accomplished in the short 50 years you've been on Earth, from your wonderful family and wife to all of your career successes and all the people's lives that you've touched along the way, including me, who was just a young graduate student back in New York, Columbia University, 2001, 9/11 class, who caught on to everything you were doing and knew from that moment that there would be a lot more incredible things to come from you over the years. I'm glad I stuck around to bring me to the moment today where we get to work together on a regular basis.
Wow, thank you so much. Jenny has been a friend for 20 years, and yes, she's our VP of Biz Dev and Strategy, and we work together every single day. This is, I mean, I mentioned this earlier, that life is really about relationships, and to have her and all these people you see who are in these videos, it means so much to me that I get to do that. I've never been so honored to work with
Happy
folks
birthday
who push me every day, and I'm so grateful.
One last video, Sree. Our friend Carla Baranakis.
Happy birthday, Sree, or should I say happy birthday? And I am here with what I think is your least favorite ceiling fan to wish you many happy returns and to thank you for teaching me everything I know about digital. I hope in return I maybe have helped you learn one or two things about dogs, and I hope Tara thinks so too. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And remember, the first 50 years are the hardest. The next 50 should be much easier. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Carla. Carla Baranakis, former copy chief, a national copy chief of the New York Times, good friend who delivers the most unbelievable guests for the New York Times Read Along every Sunday and for our other shows. I'm looking on here. Harlan Coben, #1 bestseller in the New York Times, is 3 shows on Netflix. He was on the New York Times Read Along this summer. Matt Goldman was in the New York Times Read Along. Amazing mystery writer.
Happy birthday, Sree. Or should I say?
And here is Cornelia Dean, Making Sense of Science. She was science editor of the New York Times. She was on the New York Times Read Along. I also have somewhere here the book about by Trish Hall about how to convince people and how to write great opinions and the importance of persuasion. And she was also a guest delivered by the great Carla Baranakis. And everyone, Carla has an amazing newsletter. You want to sign up for it. It's called The Local Connection. Just search for it. It'll help you, even if you're not a journalist, it'll help you understand local journalism and local stories in context for whatever is happening nationally and globally.
Happy birthday, Sree. Is that just your rendition of a heavily accented greeting?
I don't know. I've been writing that on Facebook for many years.
You've been doing that for many years.
Yeah.
There are two more guests that we'd like to bring that have been waiting very patiently. And I'm going to start with
half. Yeah. Wow.
Hour and a half. I did my best, Sree. This is one of your marathon shows. I always criticize you for that, and I realize how hard it is to keep things moving. But there's one person who has watched every show you've done, Jonathan Borstein. Jonathan, thank you so much for being here today. It wouldn't be a Sree COVID-19 call. It wouldn't be a special with guests if you weren't on it, Jonathan.
Thank you. If I had any decency, I'd blush. However, how I met Sree, well, I'm somewhat older than he was.
Not anymore. Now we're in the same age bracket.
No, not quite. I was in your age bracket now when we first met in ASJA conference where you taught a seminar that I found so fascinating and so informative that I signed up for your list, and I've taken just about every other seminar, weekend course you've taught over the years, everything I know about social media. Basically, I owe to you. As far as 232 shows go, lo those many months ago, 7.5, I think, when it was on Uber conference, I hadn't a clue where this was going. But I remember that and Social Media Weekend changing over to a digital format. And it was wonderful to see it grow into a global business, and wonderful to see, the fact that this show reaches, 2 million people. It's just phenomenal. And I'm so happy for you and to have us be a part of it. And one last thing, there will be a Nutella cake in your future.
Oh, okay. Jonathan and I talked this morning. He called for my birthday very kindly. And I asked him the Nutella Cafe where we're supposed to go for a lunch date or dinner date. We didn't know if it was still running, but I guess that's his way of telling me that it is still open. So
no, I don't know that, but I do.
Oh, you don't know that part. Okay, so some kind of Nutella cake, either at the Nutella Cafe or somewhere else. I'm going to get a Nutella cake. So
no, I found out that there's a form of tiramisu with Nutella that is called baba tiramisu.
Okay.
So if worse comes to worse, it's a baba tiramisu.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Again, happy birthday.
Thank you so much. You're an amazing friend. Thank you.
Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Neil, do you notice these all kind of? I wasn't sure. Some of these people, are they live? Are they recording? Of course, Jonathan was live, but it just all the way this technology works is so amazing.
Yeah, even though there's a play button, Sree.
Yeah.
But it's been really great to be able to have that mix of people that are live, people that are coming in. I would like to, before we we'll have Vandana and Rose join us before we officially close. But I think I would like to have our last official guest join us. And I waited till the very end. I'd like to think I saved the best for last. And I appreciate this person's patience and hanging with us. This person has hung with us over several months. You're starting to laugh, so I'm guessing you know. Rupa. Thank you, Rupa. Thank you for so much, for everything.
Thank you. I'm so glad Sree is blessed in his friends. I think he is a great friend to the world, but I think it's wonderful when I see the love, the affection, the joy that you all bring to him. So thank you.
Oh, that's so great. Rupa, you knew about all of this and you took it from me.
Well, no, I did very little. I basically allowed your wonderful friends to continue doing whatever they wanted to do, and basically, oops.
Did we lose?
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Okay, so I was just saying, all I did was allow them to do whatever they wanted to do, and Rose, I know Rose wanted me to make sure to show everyone the cake. The problem is every time I try to take the cake out, Tara wants to get a bite of it. So sorry, Rose, I can't bring the cake out. It's the only other option would be to watch me get mauled by Tara. But but thank you all. It's been so nice to see how the whole community come together. This is a very special guy. Happy birthday, Sree. We all love you.
Well, you Rupa, you engineered multiple surprises. I hope this is the very end of it because we're out of time on this day. I felt a little sorry for myself last week, thinking it was very selfish of me to think that, oh, woe is me, my 50th birthday is gone. We were going to do multi-country party, and you exceeded everything that I could have hoped for, including a party in the park and these amazing blankets you had made, and all our friends coming together for that, a Zoom call, the amazing day you gave me today, and then to top it off here tonight. Thank you so much. Love you. And I want to say this to everybody, not just because Rupa is amazing and my twins who turned 17 in the pandemic have been so supportive, but everyone who has been supportive of everybody else's family members as we try to work through the pandemic and help each other. It's so important. And in our house, Rupa, while doing her amazing job that she does, changing jobs in the middle of the pandemic, still manages to take on most of the burden of taking care of the home and cooking and all of that. She does that with that smile you see all the time.
Well, stop. This is about you, Sree. This is your birthday. This is about you. And
But
I
thank
really
you for
wish
21 amazing years, and our anniversary was this past weekend, and I'm so blessed to have Rupa, Durga, Krishna, and Tara in my life, and I wouldn't want to quarantine with anybody else. So thank you all.
Love you. And thank you, team. Thank you, Rose, Vandana, Neil. Thank you so much for making all of this happen. Renee, so many wonderful people bringing such wonderful joy to us. Thank you.
Rupa,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupa.
Time, by the way.
It is totally. I'm just hanging in here.
Thank you, Rupa. We will let you go, and Sree will just bring back Rose and Vandana. Bring Vandana in, and we want Rose. So this is the equivalent when you're on stage, when you finish a performance and you're trying to bring the staff back in. Rose, come back, Rose, come back to the studio. We want to bring you back onto the screen. Rose and Vandana, Sree, happy birthday. This was the only way that I knew to celebrate your birthday and to do it right. Whether we had a pandemic or not.
I gotta say, I know Neil was trying to do a live stream of the Central Park socially distant party and was thwarted by various people. So
not thwarted. We found a better way of doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say you found a better way than that. So thank you, as always, for coming in and helping, and not just helping, but driving something. And here's Rupa has arrived in our bedroom. I have a space of 53 inches by 46 inches where I'm constrained, but this is also our bedroom, so she needs to get a chance to go to bed.
The balloons don't fit there. The balloons don't fit.
She caught a cat nap earlier, Sree. She's good for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you, all three of you.
Happy birthday.
Watched it.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sree. From all of us, from Alan and all the kids. I think a few of them joined in tonight to see. So happy.
Thank you. And and we owe lots to Alan and the Rose's family, because Alan's been a guest on the show. The kids have made sure that Rose has the right tech for us, and then the whole family named the She's on Call show, which Rose is a producer of. So it's all in the family at the Katz Horowitz home.
I'd be remiss if Pam wanted to wish you a happy birthday as well. We can't thank you enough. Of course, my making the decision to leave United Way and join Digimentors full time. This is just an incredible commitment, the faith that you showed in me, and the partnership we have. So thank you for that, Sree. This couldn't be better.
Thank you, and it's amazing. If I can just say, Neil, thank you for being part of our family and our families working even closer together. Speaking of families, I even got a wish from A.K. Menon, Vandana's dad. Who,
my parents just texted me to say wish Sree from us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
you
very much.
We'll give you the stage, Sree, and let you say goodbye.
All I can say is thank you. Everybody who's in America, please vote. One of the things that we have learned on the show by talking to people for 232 days, 420 plus guests on this show, another 30, 40 guests on the New York Times Read Along. That's close to 500 people, plus my weekend show on the radio, is the importance of fighting for the rights that we have in this country, and taking care of each other and being there for each other, and making sure that we support those amongst us who have the least rights and the least platforms, the smallest platforms. If we can give them our platforms and we can share. We are about to hit the 250th episode around November 15th or so. We will hit that, and that'll be an opportunity for us to think about what we do going forward with the show. And we would love your input on where we go. Do we make it twice a week, 3 times a week, something like that, rather than every single day? I couldn't have done this without this incredible team working with me every day, Rose and Vandana, and our whole team at Digimentors, who inspire me and push me and drive me every day. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for watching. I'm so grateful. Great comments coming in. I'll have to go back and read all of these. One of the things, Neil and everybody, you know what happens on birthdays is that your Facebook gets flooded and you don't get to thank every single person properly. So I'm thanking all of you who did participate in the show. It's super meaningful to me, and I'm super grateful. So thank you. And I'll say goodbye, I guess. Thanks, everybody.